Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Important news update. If you read the title, then you're here for a reason. Everything's about to get a lot more expensive for RVers regarding whether you're buying a motorhome, but more likely buying a towable. What are you going to be pulling that towable with? We're going to talk about it in this video. So quick reminder, if you like videos like this, take a moment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you are notified when we release our next video.
As Izzy mentioned, towables are going to be a lot more expensive because of what you need to pull it with. Trucks are about to get a lot more expensive. This is coming from RVtravel.com. And it's titled Steep Price Hikes Expected on Ford Super Duty Trucks.
So if you're looking to buy a heavy duty truck, especially a Ford, which are super popular, the Super Duties, well, it's probably going to cost a little bit more as Super Duty price hikes are not off of the tariffs that are set to go into effect on April 3rd. There's going to be nearly a $1,700 per engine tariff on the Super Duties. 25% tariff applies to all imported automotive goods between Mexico and Canada. They may be saying to yourself, well, Ford is built in the US and they are assembled in Kentucky. However, the engine, specifically the 6.8 liter, 7.3 liter, the V8 Godzilla, the Power Strokes, they are actually from Mexico. They're built in Mexico, then everything's assembled in Kentucky, so they would be subject to these tariffs.
Speaking of Ford, a Canadian union representative says, quote, they've been put in a horrible position. They have no choice but to continue to build the engines because there's nowhere else to go, which is a good thing for us. But at the end of the day, the company is going to be punished for it. That's the word from Unifor Local 200 President John Dagnolo. It's unfortunate. Unifor Local 200 represents about 2,000 hourly workers at Ford's Windsor, Ontario engine plants.
Now, this is coming from a union member, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. Can things be moved? I don't know. We don't work for Ford, but if there's people that do work for Ford, does Ford have the capability to build these engines in the US in a timely fashion without having to invest again in the building? We don't know that, so just please take this with a grain of salt. Unless Ford does a major lift and moves the engine production out of Canada and Mexico, every Ford Super Duty engine sold in the US is open to 25% tariff. It's going to be about $75,000 per truckload. That translates to 45 Super Duty engines or 66 5.0 liter V8 engines used in the Ford F-150s.
So why doesn't Ford just move engine building to the US? Quote, the bigger issue than the F-150 is the Super Duty, which relies on V8 engines, reports Sam Fiorani. He's Vice President of Global Vehicle Forecasting at Auto Forecast Solutions. Investing in a new production line to supply these heavy trucks with engines would cost hundreds of millions of dollars and take more than a year to get up and running. Ford developed its supply chain based on the USMCA and invested, presuming that President Trump negotiated a solid agreement in 2018, Fiorani continued. Moving production lines is never cheap, easy, or quick in the automotive industry. Investments are made for and paid off in the long term.
Well, you may be saying to yourself, well, I hate Ford anyway. I'm going to buy a Chevy,
a lot
GM
of people
product.
do.
I have a Ford. You have a
Found
Ford.
on road dead.
Well,
Somebody's going to write that. I
right.
did.
Well,
yeah.
we have two Fords actually. So if you're looking to buy a General Motors truck, a Chevy, well, it's probably going to affect them also because they also rely on Canada and Mexico in the manufacturing picture. While GM has a manufacturing plant in Fort Wayne, Indiana, a big number of GM trucks roll off the lines in Canada. The Indiana production facility produces 40% fewer trucks than GM gets from Mexico. So they will be affected also. We're going to move on to the next part of this video because this is going to talk about the RV itself, the RVs themselves. And it's interesting because we've had third parties that have verified this. But we want to make this clear. We did a video about this about a month ago. A lot of people got upset. This is not a political video. This is not meant to be that. Don't take it that way. All it is that this is what's happening. It doesn't matter who's causing it or not causing it or the reasons why it's happening, what is the reason, what is the chess game, whatever. This is what's happening, and this is the potential effect that it can have on the consumers. So that's why we're doing this, because this is an RV channel, and we want you to know what could affect the prices and the cost of RVing.
We don't hate Canadians. We don't hate the US. We don't hate anybody. We're the messenger. This next one is coming from RVbusiness.com, and this is dated April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke. It's from the Canadian Recreational Vehicle Association, and they stated in an update to its members, as you know, tariffs have been imposed by President Trump's administration on Canadian aluminum, steel, and other products. And a new and broader round of tariffs is scheduled for tomorrow on all goods entering the United States, including from Canada. As a result of this threat, the government of Canada has previously announced it would implement retaliatory measures on approximately $125 billion on certain products imported into Canada from the United States at 25% to counter the tariffs on exported Canadian goods. As of this morning, Canada is still including recreational vehicles imported into Canada from the United States in the next phase of these counter tariffs. And this, again, was April 1st.
This article continues at saying that the CRVA and the RVDA, these are dealers associations for RVs of Canada, have received indications that many dealers will choose to delay or cancel orders of US-built RVs until the tariff is removed, obviously creating economic and financial consequences for both the Canadians as well as US manufacturers and suppliers. Now, when you said third party, we know that this is true, that there's Canadian dealers that they're just not ordering for several reasons. But obviously, if you are going to purchase somebody is set up to purchase an RV and it just went up, $50,000 or so, that's a big deal.
Chunk.
On the flip side, say you're getting a leisure travel, which are made in Canada, that's subject to the 25%. They're already expensive. So you're in Pennsylvania, you just order your leisure, 25% more.
Yeah, yep.
And a lot of customers, that's going to hurt, obviously, customers as well as the dealerships that the customer likely is going to, I wouldn't pay that kind of hike on a $50,000 price hike overnight. Right. So it's something that's real, and we want to bring it to you guys for your attention.
The article continues. The CRVA reports that it has been working in close coordination with leading industry trade groups, including the RVIA, RVDA of Canada, and Indiana-based RV builders to advocate for a free and fair trade policy, a key component of which is an essential RV trade imbalance between the two countries, with approximately 30,000 to 40,000 US-made RVs imported annually up to Canada, while only about 1,750 to 2,000 Canadian-made RVs are exported into the US each year.
Which is
it's a big difference.
There's many more RVs that are made in the US. It's kind of like the RV capital of the country. And there's not many RVs made up in Canada. So that those numbers are a little, you got to take them for surface value. So we want your feedback. We don't want your political hate. We don't want you to call us either a screaming lefty or a Nazi or whatever.
A Trumper, a Canadian
hater. It's not
hater.
about that. This is just pull it in, keep it together. This is just about the news and what is happening. So we want your feedback on it. If you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV news playlist. We'll also put our RV travel vlogs playlist. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.